Okay, so I just want to show you real quick what I like about these cards. Each one that I designed has a different sentiment on the inside. So this one uses a stencil font. That would be probably your quickest one to create. All you have to do is cut it and glue it on. This one font, I designed it so that you can use your drawing pen, your Cricut pen. So you would just attach your writing to the rectangle and attach it, and it will draw out your sentiment. And in this one, I did as a print and cut only. So this one, if you were to try to use your Cricut pen, it's going to double line it, right? Which we don't like that. Often people recall or refer to that as a bubble font. But if you print and cut this font, it comes out just like that. It's an adorable font to use. It's got the little heart for the eye, which I think is perfect for Easter card. This is going to be a beginner tutorial. If you are experienced with your cutting machine, you can just hop down to the description below and grab the link to get your free file. I made this file in all the different formats, so no matter what cutting machine you have, it will work for you. All right, let's get started. For this project, I'm going to be using these papers. This is from Cricut's Deluxe Paper. I love this paper set. It works great for spring or summertime projects. From here, I'm going to be using this color for the outside, and it's a double-sided paper, right? So when you open the card, you'll see this on the inside. So the outside is going to be this, the cross, the sliced out pop-out part will be that. When you open it up, this will be the inside of the card, and I'll use this for the print and cut font for this. So that's going to be what we're using today. And this pink came from your recollections, different variations of the pink tones. All right, here we go. So the first thing you want to do is go to my website, createswithlove.com, and here you'll find Resource Library. Go ahead and click on Resource Library. If you don't have your password, you can sign up here or on the web page where I put this blog post. If you do have the password, you just enter it in here. And then this is the file, 3D Easter Cross card files. Click on the link. It's going to download down in your browser. If you don't, I'm using the Google Chrome browser. If you're using a different browser, you might find it in your downloads folder if it's not down here. So now that I have it here, I'm simply just going to drag it over to my desktop. I'm going to close this site as I don't need it anymore. And here is my Cricut design space. I'm on the home screen here. Click on New Project. And then the first thing we want to do with the zip files, before we upload it, we want to unzip it. See how it's got that zipper there? So simply just double click on the file, extract all, click on extract. And what that's going to do is it just unzipped all of these files for you. Now these files are ready to import. Depending on which cutting machine you have will depend on which file you pick. Let me make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. So right here, I'm going to be using the SVG file. On some people's computers, it's going to look like a web browser icon, but just look for SVG file in the file type. So these are the other files, DXF, EPS, SVG, the text document about, which is about my policy, and then this gives you some instructions, real quick and easy, just so you can see which font selections that we have to select from. So let me just double click that real quick. Okay, so this is what I've included, and it's just to show you the different choices that you have, right? That was what I explained. You have the stencil font is number one, the pen font, or the print and cut one. So those three are included in this free file. So that's just a FYI for that. And then I just want to make sure I was getting that error, which I don't typically get. Well, we'll know if it doesn't import it. Okay, so for right here, we're going to click on Upload, and then we're going to click on Upload Image. And then right here, you can click this and browse for it, or what I like to do is open this file that we just opened, and then select the SVG one and simply drag it right here. And since it's not turning green, oh, okay, it did import. So here's the file. There's more to this. I think I seem to be having a delay, so I apologize for that. So once it's here, go ahead and click on Upload. Select it from your recent uploads and then go to Add to Canvas. And this will load all of the different elements to the card. It'll come in as one group. Go ahead and click on Ungroup. And I made this to be a 5x7 card. Let me go ahead and close this out of here. And so here again, like I explained, these are the different choices. This is the one we're going to be using. If you want to use the stencil one, this is here, but since I'm not going to be using it, I'm going to go ahead and turn that layer off. And then this is the pen one, if you wanted to use your Cricut pen. Since I'm not going to use it today, I'm just going to turn that layer off. So this is what we'll be using today. We've got the card base with a score line, although it's file right now. So we need to actually change this line right here to a score line. If you see it over here, it shows base set. So I'll click off of it and then back right here. So it just selects the score line. And if you notice up here, it's showing red. That's because I make my score lines red. So go ahead and change that from basic to a score. Now that we have a score line, we're going to hold down Shift key and select Basic Cut. Now click on Attach. What that did was attach your score line to the base of your card. This is not set to print yet. What we need to do is flatten it in order for it to print these two words on this paper. I left them separate, so if you wanted to change the color of the text, you could. That's why they're separate. I'm going to keep it as black. I think that will look best for my project. And since it's already all three of these are selected and it's the size I need, I'm simply going to click on Flatten. Whenever you flatten a file, look in your Layers panel and it changed it to Print, then Cut. It's ready to go. So now I just have to remember which papers I'm using or how to lay my paper since I'm using double-sided paper. But you would choose a color for this. I'm actually going to use a kind of a pretty pink color for that, so I can change that. It's a cut file, but let me just change it to this pink. That will just remind me that it's the darker pink. This one's my print file, so I already know that's going to be my light pink, so I don't want to change it here because I don't want it to print pink on my pink paper. And then this, I just know that this is going to be my printed color. But if you were using solid colors, you would want to choose, you'd want to select it and choose whatever color you're using. So this file is ready to go. All I need to do is click on Make It. I'm on the Cricut Maker 3, so it asks me if I want to cut with a mat or without. So if you're on a Cricut Maker 2 or an Explorer, you won't see this screen. I totally forgot to select or attach these flowers. I'm glad that you saw that. That's what happens when you don't attach something. So that's a great learning experience when you see, let me go back to it. I want you to see that again real quick. Because I didn't attach all the flowers that were on the rectangle, this is going to actually cut out all the flowers. We don't want that. We want it to cut out on that rectangle. So I'm going to hit cancel. This is the one that I'm referring to. So all these different elements, they're all set to cut, but they're not actually attached to this piece of paper. So we need to do that first. Let me scoot this out of the way and bring this down a little bit. So I selected everything just so I could bring it down for you. Okay, so now that I have wrapped my rubber band, okay, it comes in like that. You want to just wrap your rubber band around the entire rectangle and all the flowers and simply hit attach. And what that does is it turns it into little cut files. Each one of these is going to cut out wherever you see a line, it will cut out. So now we can hit make it. And as you can see, all of our flowers and our cross is set to cut on this pink piece of paper. And I'm going to be using a 8.5 by 11 sized piece of paper. So I just changed it there. I'm going to click on this one's a print and cut, so we don't need to change that. And this one is also, actually this one is going to be a 12 by 12, so I'll leave it right there. So we are good to go. Nothing needs to be mirrored. I'm going to go back up to the top one and we're going to do the print one. If it will let me do this one first, that is what I prefer. Let me click on continue. It's going to hook up to my machine. I'm going to grab that piece of paper and stick it in my printer real quick. So I'm just grabbing that light pink piece of paper and I'm adding, you can't see it, but I'm just adding my paper. I'll show you. Oh no, I can't show you. I don't have my other camera on. I'm just adding my piece of pink paper into my printer tray. And I'm going to click on send to printer. I don't want to bleed, and I do want to use my system dialog and click on print. If you're not seeing this screen, it might be behind this screen, just to let you know. Sometimes it likes to hide back there. So here is my printer already selected. I'm just going to click on preferences, and that's because I like to change mine to a natural color, and my print quality instead of normal, I like it to be set to best. And now I can click OK and then print. So that's going to run my pink paper through my printer and print out the Easter blessings. And then I'm going to be selecting medium cardstock. That is my preferred setting. Even though I'm using 65 pound, I prefer the 80-pound selection. It's just a personal preference from what I've learned by using my machine. Okay, so that just printed. Let me turn my other camera on so I can show you. Hold on one moment. Okay, so now you can see this is what just printed, and I'm going to use my pink mat. You can use either your pink or your standard mat. Let me move these out of my way here. And I'm just going to line this line right up to this white line here. The black line that you see, if you're new to printing with your Cricut, where you're not actually printing on your with your Cricut, but you're going to cut after you've printed with your printer. What it does is the printer has a little scan, and it's going to scan this black line, and that lets the Cricut know where it's precisely where to cut. So my mat is getting kind of dirty, so that's why you see me pressing really hard. I left my brayer in the other room because I was using it for something else. Okay, so load your mat and click the load button. And when this light flashes, click go, and it will cut. And unload our mat. I'm going to turn this over so I don't curl my paper while taking it off. And there we have that beautiful pink with the black font. So I'm going to set that aside here. Now I'm going to go to the second one, which was the cross. So the pink one for the cross is right here. You can see that it shows that. Your Cricut will be letting you know which is the next mat to load. Get my brayer real quick. Okay, and again, I'm just doing this because my mat, I need to clean it. So when you do pop-up cards, this one's not very detailed, but that's one of the great tips for if you're doing a pop-up card, you really need to have a sticky mat. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to select the paper choice on the desktop. It's asking what material. So I'm going to select the medium cardstock. If you don't see it, I have it listed as a favorite. If you don't see it as a favorite, you can go over to Browse All Materials and select it there. Okay, so now it wants me to have my fine point blade, which is already in there. So I just need to load it and press go. And click unload. It cut very beautifully. This is just the center of the butterfly is already coming off. So same thing, we're going to turn our mat upside down and just easily, right? We've got little pieces here. So you just want to gently pull it away from the mat. If anything sticks, you can use your finger or a scraper tool and help ease it off of your mat. So here we go. I just have a little bit of weeding to do, so I'm just going to set that aside for now and then take this off. Get my scraper. Again, my extra large scraper is not handy, so I'm just going to use my little one here, like that. And then we're going to load our next paper, which is our two-sided paper. So make sure that you have the direction up that you want. I want it to be this way. Again, this is going to be the base of the card. And then here it wants me to put in my scoring wheel. So I'm going to remove my blade, put in my scoring wheel. If you have the Explorer, you can put the scoring stylus in. Okay, I'm going to load my mat. And press go. And now I want to change from my scoring wheel to my fine point blade. And press go again. While that's cutting, I'm going to go ahead and weed these little pieces out here. You might need your weeding hook to get some of these little circles out. It'll help poke them out for you. And that's all you need to weed out. It's a very easy, quick card to make. And we're going to unload the mat and remove our paper. Okay, so now we just need to put this cute little card together. So this is going to be the inside. This is going to be the outside. This will go here. That's going to be so pretty. And then this will go here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is fold it because I want to be able to, so this is just folding right where the score line is. That way I'll know where to center my card at. And then, it's personal preference. You can use glue tape or you can use glue. Today I'm going to be using some art glitter glue. So this is the glue that I'm using today, and I just put it in this little bottle. I like handling this a lot better than handling this. So this is just what I fill it up with. Okay, so this is outside. The first thing I'm going to do is pop out my little element. So each one of these here, just simply, you just pop it out. It really gives it a beautiful 3D texture to it. The butterfly is just each wing pops out and just bring them together like that. And you pop it out, and then you'll still be able to put it in an envelope. And then when your recipient gets the card, they can pop it out back out. I had a bunch of cards, just kind of stuck together, and they held their shape really, really well. So don't worry about that. Okay, and then go through and just bend it up. Super easy. All right, so that looks good. I'm going to do these little guys here. All right, so there we go. How cute is that? Okay, so turn it over. And actually, I'm going to glue the inside first since it's flat. And this really doesn't take much glue at all, so be careful with your glue. Don't use too much. And just line it up. One good thing about using glue is you have a little bit of wiggle room for lining it up, which I do appreciate. Okay, now it'll be easier to do this part on. And simply just add your glue again. Just use a little bit. You don't need to use a lot. And get some of these in between areas. I usually like to go a little bit here, and then I like to go around this circle here. And this glue does dry clear. Just kind of going over, looking to see where I might need some. I think that is good. This one, you can't squeegee it. So you can just use your fingers to just kind of press down. And there you have it. I was really looking forward to doing this card because I had done all my other ones solid color, and I really wanted to see how pretty a printed paper would look. And I think it just came out gorgeous. Happier with it than I thought I was going to be. I was a little bit worried that it was going to be too busy, but I am really liking this card. Remember, these cards are great for all kinds of occasions. It doesn't just have to be Easter. You could use your own sentiment. It could be for sympathy card. It could be for baptism card. It could be for an encouragement card. I mean, there's so many reasons to give a card like this, and I hope you really enjoy the file. I know that I had a ball creating it in Adobe Illustrator. This is actually my first card like this where I did pop out, so I hope you like it as much as I do. This is going to be one of my favorites. All right, take care and remember to create with love. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more tutorials just like this. Bye.